Welcome back to Rebel Watch. I'm your host, Erika Dierke.
I'm Henry Stuart.
I'm Mariah Evans.
And I'm Paxton DeBardeleben.
Now, before we get started talking about anything, if you guys needed some reaffirmation on our credentials, like how qualified we are, Henry and I went out just the other day and tried to see if anyone could stump Stuart, could stump Henry on some sports trivia. And eventually it happened, but after Henry impressed many people. We're going to take a look at that right now.
The 2021 NCAA Division I FBS football season, which team did the Minnesota Golden Gophers upset in the Outback Bowl? Was it 2022?
You mean 2019?
Was it 2019? Okay, I got the year wrong.
You're talking about 2019 when they upset Auburn after beating Alabama in the Iron Bowl. That was PJ Fleck's second season in Minneapolis. That was the year they upset Penn State at home. They had a chance to go to the Big Ten Championship with a win over Wisconsin in the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe and got annihilated by the Badgers.
So
And then Wisconsin would lose 28-7 in the Big Ten Championship and lose to Justin Herbert in Oregon in the Rose Bowl. Minnesota would win their bowl game, and that's like probably their best season of the 2010s. Of the 2010s for sure. But
okay, Henry, you won.
I knew it was 2019 because that was the last decent football season Minnesota had. And 2021, which is the year he originally said, that was the last year that it was the Outback Bowl, and that was Iowa and Kentucky, because I remember watching that and being mad that Kentucky won that game because I hate Kentucky. Also, Jack Campbell at linebacker played for the Hawkeyes that year, and I really liked him. And then 2022 is when it became the ReliaQuest Bowl, and Zach Arnett, an interim head coach for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, beat Penn State.
Ask Henry any college football or basketball question, and if you know the answer and he doesn't, you get $1.
What was the final score to Ole Miss versus Georgia? Not this past year, but in 2024 when Jackson Dart was quarterback.
28-10.
That is correct.
We'll go women's side. We'll make it harder.
Okay.
Let me see. When was the last time Ole Miss went to the Elite Eight?
2007. Yeah.
Who's the Ole Miss college football player that went to Ohio State and won a national championship?
That is Quinshawn Judkins, who was arrested for domestic battery.
Who won the college football national championship in 2003? There were two teams.
That was split. LSU and USC.
Yes, sir.
Who's the head coach of the OU football team that won the national championship?
Oklahoma, most recently?
Yes, the most recent national championship.
Bob Stoops.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? You get $1 if you win.
Who was the former Ole Miss head coach before Lane Kiffin, who then became an offensive line coach at Georgia?
I mean, I assume you're talking about Hugh Freeze, right?
No.
Okay.
He was also before Lane, obviously, but...
Was it right before Lane that you're talking about?
Yeah, immediately before.
Okay.
Matt Luke.
Yep, Matt Luke.
I don't know the time frame, you'll have to forgive me, but there's a kicker for the Eagles. They used to play on the Memphis Tigers.
Jake Elliott.
Cowboys quarterback for right now. Who is it, and what school did you play for?
Dak Prescott, and he's a Mississippi State Bulldog.
How many Heisman trophies does Auburn have?
They have Bo, and I think that's it. They just have one.
They have 3.
They do? Okay, you get
Who is
$1.
it? Out of curiosity.
Pat Sullivan, Bo Nix.
I forgot Pat Sullivan.
And
Wait, Heisman and Bo Nix?
I mean, Bo
You mean-
Jackson.
Yeah.
Pat Sullivan, and Cam Newton.
Oh, duh.
You win! You're the first person to stump him all day. Good job.
Where did Drew Brees go to college?
He went to Purdue. He went to Westlake High School in Austin, Texas, and then went to Purdue, which is in West Lafayette, Indiana. Drafted by the Chargers and then went to the Saints.
How many national championships does Texas have in football?
I'm going to try to get
05, and then you're getting into the weeds of different media polls given them. So I guess technically they have 3 recognized officially. 4, okay.
4. Have a good day. The ball knowledge prophet strikes again, even though I'm down $2. But we might do it again. I had a bunch of fun doing that, and we met a lot of people. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
So thank you very much, Henry, for exercising your ball knowledge as usual. Speaking of ball, that's what the show's about. March Madness. My team's out, so how are y'all's brackets looking?
I think I have the best one up here. I'm not gonna lie. I think I have the best bracket. I've surprisingly no shade Henry. I even had a better bracket than Henry.
No.
Yeah.
We
But-
agree on Arizona's winning the whole thing, and they're beating Arkansas.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Huge game for y'all today, since it's your winner versus
Yes. I'm for surely highlighting this game, Arizona versus Arkansas. There's insane backcourt play going on tonight. I think Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas are about to go after Arizona. I'm so happy for this. I think Mariah's bracket may be a little better than mine, but if all my teams make it to the Elite Eight, then we're gonna go crazy. Arkansas is plus 7.5 underdog, so we got to ride with the boys tonight. A little stats for y'all here. If John Calipari makes the Elite Eight, then that'll be his 13th Elite Eight of his career, and that'll be top 5 all time. With coaches like Mike Krzyzewski, Jim Boeheim, Boy Williams, all these great coaches from Blue Blood schools. So I'm excited to see how it's going to stack up historically. Big game tonight.
I'm still riding with Arizona all the way. I mean, like I said last week, all their players are averaging double-digit points, and I mean, you can't beat that. 5 people versus like how many people you've been mentioning? You've been mentioning like the same 2 people.
I got 3 guys. That are
Well,
in this
5.
game.
I got 5.
Who?
I got all 5 players, Coy Pett, and all the other ones. I can't remember everybody's name, but I watched the game. That count. But I wish I didn't pick Duke going all the way to the final 2 with their injuries to Caleb Foster and
He's
their
coming back
parent tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
They're still not sure if he's all the way going to come back yet, but I wish I would have picked St. John's over them, actually. But that's the only thing I wish I would have changed about my bracket.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything that, like, you know, if you're doing a second chance bracket, what's been changing your mind based on the March Madness play thus far?
I will say I have been impressed with St. John's. I think they definitely did dirty with their seeding when they won the Big East and kind of ran the table in the Big East tournament, and they only got a 5 seed. UConn got a 2 seed, and that's, you know, St. John's beat them pretty handily to win the Big East tournament championship game. So I like St. John's. I think, you know, with how banged up Duke is and with, you know, Caleb Foster being still a little bit banged up, even though he is still going to be playing on Friday night, I still think that St. John's definitely has a chance to win that game.
I disagree with you completely. St. John.
Really?
Yes, St. John's had a disaster of a game versus Kansas. If you watch the game, both these teams struggle to score every time they touch the ball. I think Duke had a wake-up call against Siena, and they're coming back now. Caleb Foster's back. Obviously, that's their starting point guard now that Pat Gungba's back. But I think Duke is going to go to the national championship after watching what they have now.
Did Duke play TCU?
They did.
Is that who it was? They weren't.
And it was
commanding
Bell.
the
It was Bell.
the first half was.
They won by 20.
And to be clear, I have Duke over St. John's. I'm just saying the Johnnies are definitely on a roll right now. They are hot, and I think that could be a closer game maybe than some people are expecting.
I
So
got
who
Duke
you
and
got?
Michigan.
UConn or Michigan State?
I've got UConn.
I agree with that.
I like Tom Izzo, but, you know, consistently he tends to underperform. And Archie only has 1 national championship, you know, and he's, you know, been to some Final Fours and some things like that. But, I mean, consistently they will get a 2 or 3 seed every year in March. They've fallen victim to some big upsets. I'm thinking 2016 with Middle Tennessee State, Reggie Upshaw with that first round upset, getting upset by Syracuse in the second round of the 2018 tournament. The Spartans, I just don't think they're built for March. UConn is. Dan Hurley, I think he's obviously next up. UConn is a phenomenal program.
If Duke beats UConn, you have them going to the national championship?
I have Houston, actually.
Really?
I have Houston, Arizona in the national championship.
What you like about Houston so much?
Well, for starters, they've got a local boy at head coach in Kelvin Sampson. Shout out.
I hate him.
Okay, well, that's fine. But Lumberton, North Carolina, he went to UNC Pembroke. He's born in Laurinburg, actually, but he's Lumbee Native American, so he's a good North Carolina boy. So, of course, I'm a little bit biased, but they are a gritty defensive team. I think they're not as good defensively as they were last year, but they are better offensively than they were last year. So I think Houston, front to back, they are a gritty team. They've flown really under the radar this year. They play phenomenal defense. They've really stepped up their offense. I like the Cougs a lot, and they're due for one.
Can we take a second to con Erika a little bit about her pick?
Go Gators! They're running it back, baby.
Okay, so
I don't think your official runner-up team is Florida on your official bracket. that
Yes.
you gave me, so you have to
Anyone
own
else
that.
on the 64 team bracket, and you pick Florida.
I don't think it was too bad of a pick.
The guys who won it last year, mind you.
Make a clip
But
of it.
I don't think you could have predicted. Anybody could have predicted they would have been out so soon in the thing. I thought it was gonna be 8.
It was like 2018. Like that's pretty
Okay.
rare.
I had them losing to Illinois.
Yeah. What?
Make a clip for this. I said last time on the show that the reason that Florida would lose was because of, guess who? Xavier Lee is a transfer from Princeton. He's been extremely inconsistent all year. Not a great three-point shooter, not a good ball handler under pressure. He's going to get rattled against these perimeter defense.
Xavier
Lee,
who
and who had the ball in the last play of the game
he
and threw
performed
it.
the best in the day. Chinyelu, who has gotten 19 double-doubles on the year, he absolutely crapped the bed. If he shows up, they win.
I told you he fouled.
If
Every
they show
single
up,
play.
they win.
y'all lost. And
It's okay.
You're runner-up team, mind you.
Okay.
And you're about to lose tonight.
I'm not losing tonight.
If I take Duke to win this entire thing, which I know none of y'all did, I would be scared for every game. I don't think anything's certain with them. I don't think anything's certain with Arkansas. I would probably take Arizona to win at this point, but clearly I don't know ball, so I'm tapping out. Anything else on March?
Yeah, Henry, what do you think of Alabama?
I was honestly really surprised. I had Texas Tech over them.
I did too.
I really didn't think that they had the firepower to go head-to-head with JT Toppin, and I was proven completely wrong.
And
So,
Alabama.
I think I think if he can get his offense cooking throughout this final stretch in the Sweet 16 onward, it could potentially make a run to the Final Four.
I think
It's
LeBron
certainly
Fylon is a dog.
absolutely. Yeah. No,
Speaking of getting the offense cooking, we're going to talk baseball after the break. We don't have any more time for March Madness because we have some surprises later on in the show. We will see you in a minute.
The dynamic freshman is starting to make his impact. Dagger with the shot clock down to 1. That 3-ball drops for Jamin Brakefield. Fagan from the corner with a triple. Burrell for 3, and that's a big response. 3-ball, yes. Miss shooting lights out of the pavilion. And give him one more. Wow. Alley. Oh. Well, you can't teach that. Well, that should give Ole Miss a boost.
Okay, so baseball has re-entered the rankings after falling off with a very dominant series against Kentucky. We're currently ranked number 18, but not all as well because we lost in an upset away at Memphis, which was devastating. And then we have this upcoming week, number 6, Mississippi State. So do we have any takeaways from the Kentucky loss that we hope we can bring into this weekend? Do we have any takeaways from the Memphis loss that we hope we don't bring into this weekend? What are we thinking?
I mean, overall, just I thought the hitting was better against Kentucky, and then we've returned to form against Memphis. And Memphis is not a baseball program in any sense. They're not known for baseball. They're known somewhat for football, but primarily basketball. So I don't understand how we go up there and lose that game. They're not a good baseball team. We beat the brakes off of them. I mean, literally not even a month ago. So
Yeah.
I'm upset. Like, I got to say, like, I thought we really had managed to kind of turn a corner with our hitting, especially against this Kentucky series, the 15th ranked team in the country. And then we go to a, bottom tier American Athletic Conference team in Memphis and, just completely return to form and look terrible.
Memphis used several pitchers to hold Ole Miss to only 4 hits and 10 strikeouts. Do you know how embarrassing that is to go to Memphis and drive up there?
After we're ranked.
I mean, I just didn't know how to feel about it, and I don't even know what to say because I was shocked. I was like, well, we got this game in the bag.
Yeah, we were leading.
Do y'all think we were tired after the Kentucky series? Or no?
I totally think we probably checked out.
Yeah.
We were thinking the same thing we're thinking. Oh, it's Memphis, and then look what happens. And granted, it's a midweek win or loss. These midweek games are weighted less heavy when it comes to the rankings, so we could still remain ranked if we take 1, but hopefully 2 from Mississippi State. But it is disappointing, and it does not set a good precedent.
No,
right?
It does not. And,
No.
I don't like Memphis at all. I can't stand Memphis.
And then he's
City or school?
The school, I don't.
And the city.
No, I don't have a problem.
Oh,
36 Mafia is from Memphis. I love
Also, Young Dolph.
True, I like 36 more than Dolph, but that's just.
Okay,
Um,
rest in peace.
No,
player.
I can't stand the Tigers. I think they're living off of their glory days when they, had Calipari and D Rose, and I mean, great, that was almost 20 years ago. You haven't done anything since, and all of those wins got vacated because D Rose was ineligible. So, I mean, congratulations, I guess. You managed to beat us in something finally. So,
Yeah.
take this, but yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, now that we're staying in Mississippi, playing our greatest baseball rivals, we can, kind of turn it around. What do we need to win this weekend?
I don't even know if you can win. That's what I'm thinking. You're going up.
Think like that.
You're
bro.
going up.
Come on, man.
You're going up against. Well, I have a soft spot for Mississippi State. Everybody knows that ever since last football thing.
Mississippi State fan.
But also, their head coach is named Brian O'Connor. Like Fast and Furious, Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor. Like that's a cool name. Also, they got so much momentum coming off that sweep against Vanderbilt, and also
That's insane.
Hunter Elliott.
Vanderbilt's unranked.
Okay, but
Vanderbilt is-
okay,
They're
it's
still
an
baseball
SEC
team,
team.
nonetheless.
It doesn't matter.
They're not good this year.
Okay, but the key to this series to me is offense. The team is led by Tristan Becerra and Judd Udemark, who are batting over 0.33330 and have double digits.
300. Every week we're talking about offense. We need to lock in on offense. That's our question mark, right? But hopefully against this powerhouse of a hitting team, Mississippi State, our pitching, which I have no reason to complain about. Hopefully our pitching can lock in. I believe we're supposed to have Townsend back for that Saturday game, which would be huge because he's been very, very dominant. But he has been on a pitch count that he'll have to maintain. So he's gonna get pulled. So our bullpen is gonna need to be there and they're gonna need to be ready. But we need our weekend rotation and our bullpen to be locked this weekend to give our offense a chance to finally step up to the plate, pun intended.
Isn't Hunter Elliott starting tomorrow then?
Yes.
Yeah, this Mississippi State team's 21-4 overall and crazy 17-0 at home. So if you're going to a Bulldog game at home, just be ready for a win at this point.
Yeah, Duty Noble is legitimately the best atmosphere.
This team has some dogs, no pun intended.
Nice.
No, I think you're 100% right about the bullpen. I'm really looking at Owen Kelly. He's been actually pitching really well, in place kind of Cade Townsend with some of these, weekend games, midweek games. I just think that for some reason the team doesn't necessarily play as well when he's pitching. It's kind of weird.
Behind him is not
Correct. That's it, but it's nothing to do with Owen Kelly's pitching. So I just really hope that whatever that disconnect is has been kind of cleaned up since Tuesday. Because that'll be a huge key, I think, for this weekend.
He deserves the support. There's a good amount of infield errors, and I agree. They seem to tick up when number 21 is pitching. So hopefully they can lock in for him, and hopefully the team can lock in as a whole. Anything else for the weekend?
Can I give a series prediction?
Yeah.
1 win Ole Miss, 2 wins Mississippi State.
That's probably the likely outcome. What were you gonna say?
You mentioned offense. We need to play some defense. Mississippi State averages 10 runs per game in the early season. So if this game turned into a shootout, they're gonna sweep us.
Yeah.
Really. We gotta lock in on the mound. Throw some steamers because this might get ugly quick. We don't lock in.
Yeah. Luckily, our pitching has been dominant. We can scale back
We
the
just gotta
infield
score some
errors,
runs.
and score.
We gotta
Score some runs and stop the other team from scoring runs.
Yes.
Put us on the coaching staff. All right, we're
Get
going to be
us out
right
there.
back after the break to actually talk about next year. We're going to look forward into football now that we have our transfers and our recruits. We'll see you in a second.
My passion is journalism. Here at the University of Mississippi, we produce a nightly half-hour newscast, broadcasting regionally on cable and globally on the World Wide Web. It's the kind of experience that is preparing me to walk into any news station in the country with the skills and abilities I need to succeed. So it's not just preparing me for the real world, it is the real world.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
All right, so we're coming off of a really, really, really good football season. I do not need to remind y'all how amazing that was, being the third best in the country. But that only lasts so long. We're looking forward to next year. We're on the Pete Fleet, and we have 29 transfers, and we also have a lot of recruits. So What are you guys thinking about this transfer class that we officially have? I mean, we lost Simmons and Lee to Mizzou. We lost Daughtery and Prince William Yellen to LSU. That's especially a bummer, but we got a bunch of guys. What are we thinking?
Want to start with your Rebel to watch?
Sure, yeah, mine's Deuce Knight. I think this is a pretty underrated one in my opinion. I think everybody is kind of focusing on Trinidad Chandler for good reason. I mean, realistically speaking, he should have another year of eligibility, and he should be the starting quarterback for next year. But I'm looking at this in the context of contingency in case things don't go our way, because Deuce Knight is legitimately one of the best athletes I think I've ever seen. I watched, bits and pieces of his really only action of this past season, which came against Mercer when he was at Auburn. He's a true freshman. He was a top 3 quarterback recruit in the country, and he's a Mississippi native. He's from Lucedale. He went to George County High School right there off US 98, Southeast Mississippi, about an hour north of Pascagoula. So I love Deuce Knight. I think he really could be the future for Ole Miss. I think, God willing, he's going to sit behind Trinidad Chandler for a year and develop and become the face of Ole Miss football. And I love that it's a guy from Mississippi. Yeah. I love that.
So my Rebel to watch is Joshua Dye. He's a running back. He was, one of the leaders in the FCS for Southern Utah. Obviously it's Southern Utah. He's not facing his strong competition, but he's looking really strong. And a lot of his teammates and his coaches are commending his competitiveness, his drive, his initiative, all the things that make a great player. He had 1,831 rushing yards, 28 touchdowns, 295 carries, and 6.2 yards per attempt last year, including some really, really strong performances, especially 221 yards against Eastern Kentucky. So I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm hoping that, along with Lacey, he can get some touches and really help our ground game.
Well, my Rebel to watch is somebody that came with a lot of controversy and scandal. Is Luke Farrelly first went to Cal, and then he went to Clemson, technically. But he started all 12 games at Cal, and then he had 87 tackles and 36 solo tackles. And going head-to-head, he's going to be paired with Pete, who's a defensive-minded coach. I just think he's going to be just a whole around, like a big problem for opposing offenses. I just don't see anybody being able to go through him. Also, ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year, which, I just can't wait to see him get on the field and unleash some trouble.
To Mariah's point, Luke Farrelly is taking over TJ Daughtery's role as the green dot linebacker, which is essentially him and Pete Golding are kind of like best friends. So he receives signals in his helmet, tells the defense what to do, what the alignment is. And it's funny, he's replacing somebody that's from Clemson, so we've kind of lockered Dabo Swinney every time. I hate Dabo Swinney. I think he's a little crybaby.
Agreed.
On another note, on another note, my Rebel to watch is Darrell Gill. Our receiver room is kind of lacking now. Deuce Alexander is the only receiver coming back next year. But Darrell Gill, he's a transfer from Syracuse, 32 catches last year, 506 yards, 5 touchdowns. I think he's going to replace DeJon Stribling in that role. He's going to be more of a jump ball receiver, kind of vertical on the outside. So I think that's some perfect that Trinidad Chandler needs to let it go in this offense.
I think Mariah and Paxton are 100% right with what you're talking about with Luke Farrelly. I think he could develop into the next Poop Hall. I think he could be better than Poop Hall. I think he legitimately has the makings of a first-team All-American caliber linebacker. Cal had a really solid football year or season this past season. Obviously kind of disappointing at the end. They lost some games they probably shouldn't have. But I really think that he could develop into something truly special here and become really that next game-wrecking defensive player, up there talked about with the likes of Prince Yellen or Walter Nolan or Robert Nkemdiche, and I really think he could be an Ole Miss great.
Yeah, people are going to say that we lost a lot of players, TJ Daughtery, Prince Yellen, whatever. TJ Daughtery was the leader in SEC in tackles last year. I don't think he didn't play a snap. I think he played like 99.9% of snaps all year, which is insane. So I think Luke Farrelly is going to take over that role as well.
He's lighter.
I do too. ACC rookie of the year, right? Yeah.
Wow. Daughtery was part of so many big plays. I'm so sad to lose him.
And to be fair, I don't think any of us are losing sleep over losing Austin Simmons or Caden Lee. Austin Simmons, don't get me started on this guy.
I liked Caden Lee.
I love Caden Lee. He was a good receiver, but his production just wasn't there for 3 years. He's too small. He can easily be replaced for the amount of money he was asking for. Austin Simmons, 5 interceptions in 2 games.
I think Simmons and Lee will be a good team.
We don't need him on. I'd rather Deuce Knight over Austin Simmons 10 out of 10.
With Ahmad Hardy?
Yeah. Me as well.
Nobody's losing sleep over Austin Simmons. He can go throw 20 picks in Missouri next year. We're beating them by 30 at home.
Yeah, go have a lot of fun there in Columbia, Missouri.
We still root for you, Ahmad Hardy, Lawrence County native.
All right. throwback to last semester, not just football, but we also had our favorite guest that we've ever had on this show, the Magic Man of Oxford, and we are happy to say that he returned to show us a brand new trick, debuted on RebelWatch. We would like to extend a special welcome back to the Magic Man of Oxford. Christian is rejoining us today from last semester, and he's going to show us a couple new tricks. We're very excited.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here once again. So today I have a very special trick that I actually created just for this show.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's how this is going to work. Does anyone have like a dollar bill or money on them?
I actually do have a dollar bill.
You have a dollar bill? Okay, wow. How about that?
We had dollar bills earlier on in the show, so that actually fits.
Oh, perfect.
I've got
All right.
one.
All right, Kurt, perfect.
I've
So
got
we'll
one for the
we'll
next
set
time
that
we do.
aside and we'll just save that for later. I see you got your phone right there. Okay. Do you mind just opening it up real quick?
Yes.
Awesome. And then just go to the calculator. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. We need 8 cards, and so there's 3 people here, including me, makes 4, but I can't really pick my own cards. I feel like that's kind of a little biased right there. So I'm going to have y'all pick the card for me, okay?
Okay.
So I'm just going to go down like this, and we'll go back, and then you could just pick the 2 cards for me in unison. How about that? Does that work?
Easy.
Awesome. Just go ahead. Just say stop.
Stop.
Right there?
Yeah.
Awesome. Go ahead. Take that card. That's going to be yours. Say stop.
Stop.
Right there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. Go ahead. Take it. Okay. Say stop.
Stop.
Right there. You sure?
Yes.
Yeah? Awesome. Go ahead. Take it. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. Just go ahead. Just pick a card.
Keep going.
Right there?
Yeah, right. No, at the end. Yeah, right there. This one.
Okay, go ahead. Take it out. All right. And then say stop.
Stop.
Right there. You sure?
Can I go back?
You want to go back?
Got a great poker hand here.
All right. Just say stop.
Stop.
Right there. You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm-
Right there. Okay, go ahead. Take it. All right. You got it?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to need one more. Or, well, how many do we got so far? We need
2, 2, and 1.
2, 2, and 1. All right. Say stop. Stop. Right there. Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Go ahead. Take it. All right. So that's 6, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. I think these are the 2 that we need in unison. So I'm going to go through you to say stop.
Stop.
Okay. Right there?
Yeah.
I'll give you an option because you didn't say stop. Do you want this card to keep going or go back?
I'm good with that card.
You good with this one? All right. We'll leave it right there just for me. And say stop again.
Stop.
Okay. Right there. Yeah. Do you want to go back? Do you want to keep yelling?
Go back.
All right.
Stop.
Right there.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That works. We'll leave it right there. So let's see. Let's look at all the cards. So for example, I have a 9 and a 9. What cards do you have?
I have the 5 of spades, 2 of hearts.
Okay. Do you remember which one you got first?
I got the 5 of spades first.
You got the 5 first. Okay.
Yep.
And then which
I
card?
got the ace and then the 5.
Ace and then the 5.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So then what cards do you have?
I got the Queen of Diamonds and the 3 of Clubs.
You see, watch. You know what's cool? If you take the queen, just give it a little shake, right? Yeah, I'll do it to the camera. You could actually see it change visually into a 6, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty cool.
Now, here's what's going to happen. So we have a 1, we have a 5, we have a 3, we have a 2 and a 5, and a 9 and 9 and a 6. Okay.
Yes.
Now I see you do have a calculator there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I'm going to have Henry do is put in a 3-digit number, but only you could see that 3-digit number. Okay. Let me know when you did that. Good. Okay. And then I want you to hit the multiply button.
Okay.
And then put a 4-digit number. Okay. When you do that, I want you to press equals. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the phone. Okay. I'm going to pass it over here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
Do you supposed to see it?
I can see the number. It doesn't matter. It's just multiplication.
Okay.
What I want you to do now is hit multiply.
Okay.
And I want you to multiply that by a 10-digit or a 3-digit number. Good. Any number you want. Okay. Press equals. Okay. What? Can you please read aloud the number that's on that screen?
15,325,996.
So 15325,996. See, not only that, but watch. You had a dollar bill, correct?
Wait.
See, every dollar bill comes with a serial number on it. Can you please read aloud that serial number on that dollar bill?
15325,996.
And there you go.
I have so many questions. Oh man.
Oh my God.
What?
15325,996. Dude, that's insane. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
That is all we have for today. I've been your host, Erika Dierke.
I'm Henry Stuart.
I'm Mariah Evans.
And I'm Paxton DeBardeleben.
We'll see you next time. Hotty toddy.
Well, today we're going to get started with a I'm so sorry. I got to mess that one up completely.
Blooper reel.
Blooper reel right there.
Okay.